Hello, friendly faces of the World Wide Web. I'm here today because I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to get better at I don't know, whatever it's called, Blender, or yeah. You want to get better at Blender? This is something I do personally. If I want to get into Blender, warm up. This is my warm up session. That's what it is. You read the title. You've seen what it's called. Hello. Okay. First step is get a new whatever it's called. Get a new block cube. You stare at me, weirdo. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a Rubik's Cube. Let me open up a reference photo to see. Rubik's Cube? What? No. N64 logo. Rubik's Cube is a part of this, but it's not like that. Sure, that's a good reference photo. Save that. I'm pretty sure that's a PNG, right? Save as. Save right here. Okay. Put that in. This is now a reference photo. Now we can know how. Yeah. So this is what we're gonna be making, right? So angle right here like this. But the reason there's something about the N64, this logo, that pisses the shit out of me. You see this red right here? Hold on. Let me minimize this. You see the red right here? This is supposed to be blue because look at the bottom. This is blue. Let's say the south side, all faces pointing south side it should be blue. Why is this red? And why is the red part here where the green's supposed to be? In truth, the red isn't supposed to be visible. Doesn't make sense. This is the part where the Rubik's Cube comes in. I'm gonna make this the colors like the Rubik's Cube. So with this, I'll just do something better. Hold on. Pictures. N64. I'll just set this on my other monitor. You guys can figure out how to do whatever. I don't care. I'm only here to show you how to do things, not show you how to do things. It's different. Oh my god, that tastes like shit. I love it. Oh my god. It tastes like towels from a hotel. It's delicious. I love it. I'm putting down my microphone. Yeah, that should be good. I have no absolute idea how loud that is. Anyways, the first steps first. I'm gonna delete the light and the camera because they look like they stink, and I don't care about them. First steps first. If you look at the reference photo, you can see that each side seems like it could be divided in threes, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Subdivide, go in this little corner, and increase that digit by 1. So now you can see it is increased by 3. And next, we're gonna actually go into face view, and I think I wanna, this axis right here shows you which direction you're facing in the 3D coordinate plane. Just click an arbitrary one. It doesn't really matter as long as it's vertical. It doesn't matter. And this button right here is X-ray. What it allows you to do is it allows you to select items through other items. So you see how I selected all that once? If that option wasn't selected, and I did that same thing, it only selects the ones I'm currently viewing. Let's say you're at a different angle, then you can select this one that's like right here. You can also select this one and this one, and if I turn it off, you see it's these ones back here. It's very useful. It's one of the things you're going to be using a lot if you use Blender. Anyways, I'm going to select those, and then you have to hold shift while selecting other stuff so that you don't clear your selection. This is what it looks like if you don't press shift. It clears your selection and makes a new one. And control, what it does is that it usually bridges. Oh, I guess it subtracts. Okay, yeah, it subtracts from your selection. What you could do is you could just press shift and click it individually, but I guess you can hold shift and hold control to do that selection wise. Anyways, now that we got this birthday present shape selection, what you're going to do is you're going to press the delete key and delete the faces. So now you can see we have these 4 pillars. Now at this point, you can get out of face view. These are the views. There's face view, the one we're currently in. Edge view, which instead of selecting the whole face, you select the individual edges. It's pretty self-explanatory. And vertex view. This is the one that's set on by default and the most the one you're going to use the most. And if you were to notice, I'm gonna how can I do this? Put it back in the center. If you were to notice, if I turn on vertex view, there's no vertex connecting right here, so we can't do a full cube. At most, we can only do a triangle. By the way, pressing F is a shorthand for filling in. So as I said, you select 3 vertices, you create a triangle. You select, let's pick these 4, you create a square. More vertices, more whatevers. And if you only have 2, what's cool is that you create a line instead of a full-on geometry. You just get a single line. So, oh my god, that's horrible. I love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control D. Is it D? What? By the way, if you make a selection or whatever and you don't like it, you can just press right click. It'll automatically deselect it. Extrude. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. So if you're in the extrude menu, what you could do is, or if you're, let's say, in grab mode, which is shorthand for G, and let's say you're in the mode and you want to move it in the X direction 1 meter. By the way, this is all based in meters, so that's what it's doing. So you press X, X, Y, Z, the 3 coordinate planes, and you press 1. So you tell it, on the X-axis, move 1. In this case, it's moved to the left, as you could tell by this little 3D viewer that I've mentioned before. This one right here. This tells you which direction you're facing. Like exactly what are you looking at. So you can see the X, Y, yeah. So what I want to do is I want to get a vertex on top of this that is the same height as this one right here, right? So what I would do, there's probably other ways of doing it, better even, is compare the differences between these two. Since they're perfectly on top of each other, there should only be one coordinate plane different, and that would be the Z. Z is negative a third. Instead of copying this and typing it in manually, what's cool is that, let me extrude this, and by the way, if let's say you have it all the way over here and you want it perfectly on top of this so that all the planes are the exact same, you can do is just press 0. You don't even have to pick an axis like X, Y, Z. You just 0 on all axes, 0 meters. What you could do, which I find really cool, is you could type negative 1 divided by 3, negative a third, and it perfectly gives you there. I find that really cool. It's honestly quite amazing. I don't think I want to make a plane. So I selected these two. I'm going to select the top of these two vertices. And wow, you get a slope. And if I pull my reference photo, you can tell. Oh, now that I look at it, okay, that's the thing. Oh my god, Perrier sucks. This is what I'm drinking. It tastes so weird. I like it. Anyways, what's interesting, what you need to worry about when it comes to like 3D modeling and stuff like that, you need to make sure, you need to like pay close attention to the models you're referencing, or the reference photos. And so as you can see here, half of it, horizontally it's divided by 3 as we've established, but vertically it's by 2. There's most likely a much better way of doing this, as I keep repeating, but the way I'm gonna do it is, instead of worrying about everything like restarting or whatever, it's a really simple thing that anyone could do. Simply, just let me go into here, and this, just delete the middle sections. So now you have a cube, and then is that really a smartest decision? Oh no! You see what I could do is I can. Oh yeah. I can loop cut. Do that, and then go back to selection. So now it's divided by 2, yeah? The middle cube. And then what I can do is I can just go back to this view. Select all these, delete the vertices. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. By the way, something weird about Blender is that whenever you want to Control Y, like redo an action, like Control Z is undo, and you want to redo, it's actually Control Shift Z. I don't know why. It's something you have to get used to, I guess. Anyways, this is the tedious process of just filling it in. I'm gonna leave this. Am I gonna leave this in? I might as well just cut back. Whoa. Selected the wrong vertice. You have to pay attention where you're actually aiming. I'll come back right after I'm done with this. Be right back. And we're back. So I just remembered this while in the process of doing this. It's as simple as what I taught you earlier. That's bad. Which is select 4 vertices. You fill in, and then you just do that, and simple as that. Anyways. I remembered something while I was doing this, that there are other. This is how I warm up. Usually I don't go with a warm up. I just, oh god, I drop right into the project. But if I ever feel like bored or I want to do something, this is what I would do. But in any other terms, like there's warm-ups for many other things. Like there's a warm-up for lighting, there's a warm-up for like texturing, many other things. I'm showing you is a warm-up for modeling, like making the model by hand itself. It's not really even like a complicated one. It's mainly just it's simple. It's just a cube. Yeah. Is this professional by any means? No. Am I professional by any means? No. It's mainly just comedy. But also, I'm bored and I want to record a video, so. Alright, so, like what I said before. Oh, this one's actually at it's actually on 0. Because if you look here, it directly crosses this plane. The XY coordinate plane. So that makes our job easier. So if we extrude to 0, we could just grab Z, 0.5 or just 1, I guess. Because a cube is 2. I don't know why it automatically sets like everything to 2 meters high, wide, and whatever. It does that. So half of it is actually 1 instead of 2. Pringles, they're so good. I have 2 of these hot and spicy XXL size Pringles. They're so good. Actually 3. I finished one of them and then got 2 at the same time. So actually I have 3. One's over there, this one's over here, another one's on my bed. Whatever. Should probably close that later. I'm recording a video. Anyways. Man, I love Pringles. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete only edges. Now this option does faces and edges, but I'm basically isolating it like this because, you know, for optimization. So I'm going to do what I did before, or the slope. And for the bottom one, I have 2 over here, but only 1 over here. So yet again, I'm doing that. I'm actually going to do this right here to show you can do it in other ways, like this one. Grab on the y-axis 1 divided by 3. Negative 1/3. Is that in the right spot? No, so it's grab y negative 2 divided. No. How can 1 3 3? How can I change negative? Grab y negative 3 divided. The thing is, I don't really know if I like this, but I haven't personally found out a way of changing the division, so it's only 1/3, 1/4, 1/5. I don't know if you could do 2/4, 3/5. I have no clue. Well, 2/4 is just 1/2, but you get what I mean. Anyways, what I did before, I'm going to delete the face and edges. Select these 2, select these 2, and create. Wow! We created a slope again! Alright, so this, I can finally close off this face. Close off this face, and close off this face. I guess for now we can focus on this one side because you would do the exact same measure here, here, and here. So quick pro tip, for the other side, since you're doing it like you're focusing on this side like this side like this side like this side like this. So if you're looking at it at specific angles, it'll always look the same. The one at the back would actually be the inverted of the one in the front. So this one's inverted in this one. This is, so yeah, it's pretty interesting because it's an N shape. And if I were to bring my reference photo out and angle it like this as best I can, you notice that it's close, but it's not exactly the same. There's actually a good reason for that. That is because in whatever it's called, Blender, it automatically renders it in perspective view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it here. Grab another thing you could do is you can turn on snap to grid. So if you're zoomed in, you can snap to these grids, and if you're zoomed out far enough so where you can't see the smaller grid, or at least you can barely see it, you snap to these grids. These grids are 1 meter by size. Like, it's pretty useful. And then bada bing bada boom. It's a bit too tall. Grab Z -1. Good, perfect. I don't care. The weird thing about orthographic, which is the one that, yes, you can see, Nintendo, the whatever it's called, Z, grab Z 0.5 0.25, 0.35. Good enough. And now, if you can see here, this one turns off all like the UI stuff, so you just get the model itself. If you can see here, it's much closer. I think the only reason that this seems thicker, this one right here seems thicker than mine, was a little thinner, is because they artificially took the cube and stretched it, so it's actually squished a little bit. It's not perfectly cubed, but hey, you work with what you're dealt. Now I realize it. The Nintendo GameCube cube is actually a little fucked up. Like this was a lot longer than this one. Weird. I'm not gonna think too much about that though. You think too hard about stuff like this and you don't get artist renditions, you just get the headache. I'm gonna delete the camera again. And as I said before, I'm gonna just focus on this one side because I'm sure you understand how to do the rest. It's the whole reason I was doing this. So, back face culling. Back face culling, all that means is that the back face is culled. To be culled is to be removed or ignored. So, that's what that means. Looking at the GameCube reference photo on my right monitor, this side is going to be primarily green, right? Now we can change our material view. There is right next to the X-ray toggle, which is the one where you can see the vertices through the faces and select them from behind, like that, is a wire mesh, which it faintly shows you the whatever it's called, what is it called? The faces. It faintly shows you them, but in this mode, X-ray is is automatically turned on. If you turn it off, as I did a second ago, yeah, weird X-ray. Anyways, after that is the one you've been seeing. It's called viewport. A cool thing you can do, by the way, is if you select view, you can, instead of just rendering with the render tab right here, render image F12 or control F12 for animation, what you can do is you can select view and viewport render image, and it straight up gives you whatever you just saw. You can, this is what this button is useful for, to remove all the UI stuff, so you can do this. Where is it? Viewport image. See that? Beautiful. Actually sucks ass. You only do it if you really need a thing right now. You don't care about that. Whatever. It's not what I'm talking about right now. After the viewport, we have an option, which is the one I'm going to go to now, called material view. Oh, the one wasn't viewport, it was solid mode. And wire mesh, wireframe, close enough. The last one is rendered preview, which shows you a preview of what you just rendered. I have no lights, so it's not gonna look, you know. By the way, if you want to see what this tab is to add, you can either go here and add whatever, or shortcut Shift A. Just pressing A without any shift, control, whatever's, selects all. Shift A gives you the add menu. I'm gonna add a sun. I'm gonna make it face, let's say rotate it 45 degrees, negative 45 degrees. And let's say from the top, it's rotate. How much is this? Negative 45. So it's shining this corner right here. See that? And in rendered preview, you can see like what the shadows could look like. if I press render, yeah, I don't have a camera, so it's not gonna. No camera file on scene. So yeah, I'm gonna select material view, cause I'm gonna do colors now. Yippee, colors, yippee, wah. And if you want, so now we get into materials, which is that button right there. This button right here is materials. You click on it and you get material. I personally wouldn't change the default material because then that changes everything. So what I would do is actually press add new material slot with this plus icon. Click new, so instead of selecting from a previous made one, you just make a new one. This one, RGB. I already said what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set it to green. I don't care about the exact color value. And if you're in edit mode, by the way, these are the modes that we've been on. Object mode is the one where you can place objects and whatever. Edit mode, by pressing tab, gets you into, I probably should have explained that in the beginning. Whatever. In truth, you should be watching this, like watching it full throughout, so you know like roughly what you need to do, how to do it, and whatever. And then, if I were you, I'd try to see if you could do it on your own. If you can't, replay the video. No, I'm not doing this for engagement bait. That's generally how I would do things, so that's how I'm doing it. You don't like my stuff? Get on you. I don't know what else to say. So, for this one, I recommend going into face view. You don't need to, but yeah. So, select, deselect, assign. What I would do is I would assign. So you can assign the colors, as you can see here. Looking at my reference, the next color would be blue. So selecting these two, adding a new color, new. This one, it'd be blue. Ba-ba. And then selecting these two faces as well. Assign. Assign. Now we have blue. I could do this side, but we're not going to see that in the camera. And then the top is yellow. So create a new material. Select it. This one's cool because it's red and green. Assign. So, I don't have a camera, I just realized. Get out of object view, so like in this is cool or whatever. I only colored 3 faces because that's the only 3 faces that can be seen. It doesn't really matter. There. I say it doesn't matter because we're going to be going into orthographic view, and what that basically means is, even though it looks far here, should probably just good enough. I actually don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Orthographic view will set it to like this no matter what. Turn off grid view so you can angle it better. And what this is the orthographic scale. So what that means is like if you have a very low number, it's going to be zoomed in. Very high number, it's going to be zoomed out. It's not that hard to explain. I don't really think I need to mess with that. But yeah, that shows you like how do something like that. That's why physically moving the camera back doesn't really matter, because plus even if you do, it's not gonna visually change. In perspective view, oh yeah, of course, but in orthographic, what that means is like there's no depth of field. Objects further backwards will be the same size as the ones in front of you. It's how the game's played. You can see a bunch of examples on it. For example, like Qbert. There's Marble Maze, whatever, on the NES. So I can find it. Marble Maze NES. Marble Madness. Yeah, that's what it was. Madness. Let's see if we can show you guys. Yeah, so look at this. This is orthographic view. Like, even though this is further back and this is more up front, they're the exact same size. Or, for example, Qbert Arcade. Specify. And it's good enough. You see, yet again, further forward are the same size as the backwards ones. Now, this does really lend to some confusing perspective issues with stuff like, how far away is this jump? I don't know. It could be 10 layers in the background or in the foreground, and I will completely miss it. I don't know. Whoa. Yeah, either way, that's what orthographic view is. And if you press F12, you get a very dark image because they don't actually have any lights. So let me turn that off. Zoom in. Another feature that you're gonna find very useful is camera to view. What that basically means is that whenever you move your viewpoint, you move the camera. This is disabled. It kicks you out of the camera and you move around. If you want to know how I got into the back to the camera, unless you have a numpad, forget about it. But if you do, 0 is going back to the camera. 3 is going into this view. 9, negative x, x, negative x. 3 is x, negative x is 9. Z is 7. Y is... the negative y is 1. You can press 5. 5 to... oh, switch from... oh, if you can see here, it changes your view. So, like, let me turn this back on. So, you see how this is perspective, yeah? You click 5, and it switches to orthographic view. So, if you want to know what your computer... the mouse... what the... camera looks like it's seeing, that's what it's seeing. Oh, 3 is X, 7 is Z, 1 is negative Y. And you press 9 to flip between them. I don't really do that, I just, click on here. Oh, I want to see the other one. Oh, boom. I want to see this one. Boom. Boom. But I don't really mess with that, but you can do that. 5 switches orthographic to perspective. And the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, is just, stuff like this. Perfectly angled on so that when you press 5, it's perfect, and you press this one and it's wow. Anyways, turning off the UI and whatever. I'm gonna viewport render image. You can see here. Oh, here's something else. If you go into format right here in output, and you go, wait, what's it? Render. Yeah, you click on render. You scroll all the way down, and you see this film. If you click it and you click transparent, what that does is that whenever you're in render image, it's gonna be really dark. The background will actually, instead of being this weird gray pattern, it'll be, transparent. The name says so. Like, weird ass cat just left. It doesn't work on viewport image, sadly, because it directly shows you whatever. Yeah. I don't actually know what the filter size does. Oh wow, that actually looks cool. Wait, does that mean 0.01? That's how I can do it. Oh, that explains so much. Okay, so what I just did is anti-aliasing. What anti-aliasing does is, let's say I have the normal amount, 1.5 film grain, did it say? Filter size. What that does is that it smooths out the edges so you can have a nicer looking, what's it called? Render, right? But what if you want a clean render? Like you just want the pixels themselves without any anti-aliasing. You turn that off. But seems like it's not perfect. I wonder if I can set it to 0. I can. And boom, it's just directly the colors themselves. There's no anti-aliasing going on. It's not going to smooth that out or whatever. So what I did before, which thank God I know now, is I set it to just 1. The first sample you get, sampling, what that does is like, I actually don't know what exactly it does. It makes your work look nicer, basically. This is what I did. I set the sampling to 1 so that it would do that. So let's say I have filter size 10. It's only it sampled it the first time. So if I set the sample to, oh god, 2 and render it, it samples it twice. It runs through all the filters and whatever twice, all your options. This is a really simple render, so I'm just gonna do 128. It's gonna run through it 128 times. It's really fuzzy, but I didn't know. You set the filter size, the filters. Just turn off filters. I don't know that. So, see, you can learn. You can learn at any point in your life. It doesn't matter. Man, this sucks. Keep drinking this. I only have 1 bottle left. Shame. Shame. Stop rolling. Alright, that's really cool. I'm gonna use that in my future renders and whatever. That's cool. I like that. Anyways, enough of the distractions. You can turn transparent filter on, and that'll transparent, and you turn it off, and it gets this ugly gray whatever. That's really it. Yeah, and you would do, obviously, like, I skipped over them, but you would do the other sides too to get not a single, you just get an N. This is just an N now. Like, I could probably just even do this. Like, turn off this. I could probably just, boom, 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 boom. And, by the way, it doesn't have to be, like, one of the polygons. You can have like this fake shape, this N-chain shape. That was a horrible sentence. And boom, now you just have an N. Yeah, that's what I would do to get a warm up. This is like whenever I have the urge to do a render, I would just do this. And that's actually where I got my Reddit icon and my Reddit I forget what it's called. Where profile picture from? Let me see if I can pull it up. Reddit.com. My account? Yes, I am. View profile. There we are. Only has 7 likes, but hey, it's my life's work. I did this a year ago. My God, this is my account, real cool full 888. I want you to like it. Ignore that 18+. I have no idea what I do on that account. I stopped doing those stuff on that account. I have a throwaway account for those stuff. Anyways, I haven't gotten into it, but there's stuff like cycles and whatever where what I showed you, Eevee. Which is the one viewport render, and you get this. So just for example's sake, let's say I have a cube, scale it up 4 times, sure. Just delete these 3 faces. Just delete them. I have a whatever it's called. No, Um, get out of edit mode. Grab this Z. No, just this. What? Oh, I made it in edit mode. So let me get out of edit mode, object mode, create a new structure, a cube, scale it 4 times there, tab to select these 3 faces, excuse me, Z, turn on this, blah 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 blah, done, and this side, done, there's it. Close enough. So now it's in the corner, you see, and in Eevee, lights, camera, action. Like how I showed you before, rotate -45, rotate X -45, or Z -45. So now it's pointing in this direction. See what it looks like. Good enough. See this? This is what Eevee looks like. It stinks, right? Yeah, I have all the filters and almost like it stinks. Is it on point mode? No, it's on sun. Okay, now we're getting some light. Let me actually rotate it like. Like that. Looks nicer. So if I run this out, you can see it's like that. It kind of stinks. I don't like that angle. Why does it look like that? Where are the shadows going? Whatever. That's Eevee. Eevee's is a really simple engine, the one in whatever. Workbench is really interesting in that it's I don't know, it looks weird. It's all gray and whatever. I'm sure you can change the colors and whatever, and material, textures, yada yada. It's interesting nonetheless. The last one, Cycles, is RTX. This one renders your stuff out. I accidentally set it to 4,096 samples. I can't run that much. 64 max. 16 max. Okay. I don't know why that's set. It's default. So we're gonna run 64. No, just run 8. Just run 8. So as you can see, it's RTX and whatever. Since it's really low, it's going to be pretty iffy with the denoising, because if I turn off denoising, you can see it gets really rough. There's like a lot of noise, as I said before. That's what whatever it's called does. That's what RTX does. It sends out array and whatever it calls it, bounces, crazy complicated shit like that. Its neighbor could have a completely different color. I don't know. Denoising does fix that, but really low sample rate does mess that up. So let's say I have 16, double it. So I'm showing now. That's the noise. That's the noise right there. Unless see, it's a lot better. More samples, better render. That's basically what you need to remember. Anyways, what I'm gonna do. Oh, sorry, I should say. Is with the Reddit, right? If you can see here, the colors are showing up in like. Even though this is orange, because this side, you can see a bit of the green's leaking and making it look like yellow. That's where we're getting it. Global illumination. And now, I wonder if I can get something like a film pixel filter. Let's see. Let's turn this off. Do I get a really sharp render? Ooh, yeah, look at that. Sharp, I think. Oh. Anyways, that concludes my tutorial. Tutorial. It's not even a tutorial. It's more like a guide. This is my warm-up session. That's how I warm up. I'm not going to save it because I could easily do better. But yeah, that's what I use to warm up. I hope you guys were entertained thoroughly through that video. This is what I do. This is who I am. Hit me up if you want to play games. Could always have more fun. Alright. Have a nice day. Beep ba do beep bop beep do beep bop boop ba dee boop boop bop bop